It's with mixed feelings that I come to reflect upon the past almost decade that I've been ministering in these parishes. You'll no doubt know that I'm coming up towards retirement, and naturally I'm looking forward to some free time, but I've met so many lovely people here whom I will miss. So in this strange year I've been reflecting on my almost a decade of ministry. There's been such a lot to give thanks for. Pre-corona, I would have been at church Monday, Tuesday and Thursday for morning prayer, Wednesday for communion, and likewise often Thursday at St. Margaret's. Many times I'd be preaching and leading at Christ Church for 2 or 3 or even 4 services per Sunday, and occasionally took ones at St. Margaret's too. I was the first vicar of this joint benefice. That was the weekly routine. Monthly there were things like the Theology Book Club, sometimes a Bible study, the refresh service. Bi-monthly there were school assemblies, messy church, and such committees as B&F and the PCC. And then there were all the special services that we had. Annually there were the ones for Christmas, Easter, Harvest, Sermon Sunday with the children's groups, Remembrance with our uniformed organisations, Commemoration Service, Lent groups, Confirmation, Admittance to Communion, as well as fun opportunities to join in Christmas celebrations with brownies, young church groups, luncheon club, MU, MCC, ABC, Guild, and the choir parties. There have been pancakes and quizzes with the MCC, and then attending the play every year. There have been guild visits to such places as Sizer, Port Sunlight, and a chocolate factory. That was yummy. During my time here too, I've learnt to bowl, albeit very amateurish still, but we've had matches each year in between our churches and also with another church in the area. There have been other social events, concerts and other fundraising activities, tea dances, Macmillan coffee mornings, Guild afternoon tea, and those really special events such as the fair to celebrate the Queen's Diamond Jubilee, and the Olympic torch being taken past the church at a ridiculously early hour, but then also having it to visit the church for Sermon Sunday. We've had community events such as the Ceilidh. We've also had very special events for church, such as the 25th year of the parish centre, with an exhibition of memorabilia and a visit by the bishop. We've celebrated the 120th year of Christ Church, for which we had a magnificent flower festival, and we had a centenary at St. Margaret's, together with their many fundraising fairs and coffee mornings. To those of you who have invited us to share in your weddings, birthdays, anniversaries and so on, we offer you our heartfelt thanks. I've also been privileged to spend a year as Mayor's chaplain, saying prayers at council meetings and being at the Remembrance in the town centre. 2019 also saw me attending the Scout camp for a special celebration of 17th Bolton Scout Group. 2020 has of course been a very strange year for all of us, not least of all me, your vicar, especially coming on the tail of recovering from a car crash at the end of 2019, when someone decided their vehicle wanted to be in exactly the same place as mine. But then, in early 2020, firstly we were banned from offering the chalice. The churches then closed for a short while afterwards, during our lockdown, and then the clergy were expected to celebrate communion firstly by themselves in the church, and then later we were permitted to do communion or other services in our home, and to share these online with our congregations and communities. Thus began my earnest attempts to learn about videoing and editing techniques. Those results were initially shared with you in the weekly email news that I began producing at the beginning of lockdown, and later we began to upload these to YouTube. 2020 has certainly been an interesting and different year, and now of course we're allowed to meet back in our socially distanced church. Perhaps the toughest of my almost a decade were the 4 years or so of the vacancy of our associate priest, and now I'm thankful that we do have other clergy assistants. Been blessed too with the 2 church wardens we have at the moment, Irene and William. And there's so many people I'd like to give thanks to, all our uniformed group leaders, the leaders of our organisations and groups, and as well as all of you who've kindly shared with us in this almost decade of ministry. Thank you. And although I'm retiring, I'll continue to remember so many of you fondly and offer you my prayers, as I hope we can count on yours in this new stage of life. To God be the glory. A prayer. As we go our separate ways, we give you thanks for all our days, and as we part, we do so knowing, in our hearts your love is a-glowing. Amen. To God be the glory. Amen.